Hi and welcome to my home studio again. Today we're painting a wildflower landscape just for beginners. So start by wetting the half of your paper. We are going to work on the sky, so you're going to take a really light mix of pink and you're going to work your way down to the middle of the page. Then I am going to take a little bit of orange for those colors to blend in the background. And at the end, I am using a deep purple on top so all of these colors get mixed together and make a beautiful sky. Be sure to leave a space or a circle in the middle for the sun. Then you're going to wait for this to dry, or you can make it dry with a hair dryer, and you're going to do the same thing with the bottom part. Using the wet on wet technique, you're just gonna take a little bit of green and make sure to leave some white spaces. So you just don't have one big blob, but you can have a little bit of depth. We wanna make sure that this looks like grass growing from the ground. Make sure to use different tones of green so you have a little contrast and you can simulate grass growing as well. So this was your first layer and you have to wait for it to dry completely before you continue. So now with a really watery mix of purple, you're going to start creating your mountains. Be sure not to just make one blob, but leave some white spaces in between so you have a little texture on that mountain. You can dab in a little bit of more purple on the top so you have different colors or different contrasts. And be sure to get rid of that hard line on the bottom. For this, you're gonna take your brush just with clean water and you're just gonna get rid of that hard line. Wait for this to dry completely before you start with the second mountain. You're just gonna use the same watery mix and you're gonna trace it on the top, but this time on the other side of your paper. So you're gonna have two mountains and you're gonna see through the transparency that you have both of them. For the next step, you're just gonna take a little bit of clean water and just with water, you're gonna do a horizon line. And in this line, you're gonna dab a little bit of green to create a little bit of like woods in the background. And it's gonna look like really beautiful trees growing in front of the mountains. So this is the part where you decide how many layers you want to make. You can wait for this one to dry and then with another type of green you can go over it and do more lines and more texture, but that's up to you. So let's have some fun and continue with the process. For the next step, you're just going to take clean water and you're gonna take that green all the way down to the bottom. Make sure that the paper's wet, and this is going to be the fun part, so be prepared. Now you can use a really watery mix of any color you like and just dab it on top of the wet part. You can use different colors. I used green, I used purple, I used orange, I used pink, and this is going to simulate lots of wildflowers. So go crazy over here, and if you don't want any sparkles to get on top of the mountains, you can just put a paper on top of it so you can protect it from the splatter. But I think it's fun, so just go wild like the flowers and add some more details. You can add some leaves, some more flowers, some depth, some layers, and have fun. And that's pretty much it. I hope you liked it, and if you liked this tutorial, don't forget to like, to share, or to subscribe. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to read them in the comments.